Okay, now that I've got your attention, what rules am I talking about? And why the Philippines? Well, I'll explain in this video what rules are not being followed. I mean, I'm not talking about serious rules, not all of them anyway. Let's get into the video. Some of these are actually more to do with etiquette, but I wanted to show you something first. The reason I want to show you this is because when I saw this, I thought about talking about it in this video. So we were in the SM food court a couple of days ago, and we went there. It was on the weekend, and it was really busy, and we were struggling to get a table. Now, I think it was about a week ago or 10 days, they introduced a new rule. And previously what you did was when you went to the food court, you would get a tray, take it to your table with the food on it, eat it, and then they had people working there that would come, take up your tray, take it over to the tray station and clean up the dishes as best as they can, like that. But 10 days ago they introduced a new rule, and they had big like posters up, freestanding banners, clear as you go or clean as you go, and they even had employed a woman to come around and explain to everyone that when they're finished, they have this new rule: please clear away your tray, take it up to the tray station. You just put it into the tray holder, and then they still had people working there, but less people. So I think what they thought was we could save money by getting everyone to take their own tray back, and that would mean we don't have to employ as many people to work in the food court. Yep, I know what you're thinking. So this woman all day, it was at least one day, I don't know how many times, how many days she was employed to tell everyone. But we saw her at least that one day. And I realised what was going on. And she came over to where we were, and I said to her, "What's the reaction been like?" She said, "Oh, not really good." She said, "Most people are not happy that they have to take their tray back. Or not back, but take the tray to the tray station." That didn't bother me. I mean, it's just lifting a tray and walking over. But anyway, so that they still got the banners up in the food court. They're still there, clean as you go. And everyone seemed to be taking their tray back. And I said to my wife, I said, "This isn't going to last, is it?" She says, "No." Sure enough. Now what happens is people just leave their trays on the table, which is what they were doing before, but they don't have enough staff to clear them now. So what you'll find is when you go there, it's just tables everywhere full of trays and dirty plates. Talk about something backfiring. So that's the sort of first rule, I would say, that isn't being adhered to here in the Philippines. At the beginning of the video I said, why the Philippines? Well, it's obvious it's because I'm here. And what I like to do is I like to come up with videos based on things that have happened to me over a period of a couple of days. So that was the first thing that sort of made me think about the video. The second thing in that video clip of us in the mall, you'll see there was a group of girls sitting at a table in front of us. Now, we went in there and we weren't the only ones. We're walking around looking for an empty table. It was very busy. And eventually I got one. I had to clear the table, of course, myself. and eventually I got one. So I just took the tray up. I said to my wife, "You wait here." I took the dirty tray and dirty plates and everything over to the tray station, even though it wasn't mine. And then I sat down at the table. I says, right, to my wife, I said, "You go and order some food, get some food." I said, "I'll just wait here till you come back." And I was sitting there like observing what was going on. And that group of girls in front of me, when we got the table, they were actually finished their food, right? And they were all sat there like this, on their phones, chatting to each other at the same time. And this went on the whole time I sat there. Now, my wife was taking a long time because it was so busy. And the whole time they just sat there, there was people coming, looking for tables, walking around. You'll have seen people walking around in that video clip. And I sat there and I thought, they're just sitting there taking up real estate, When did young people stop caring? Can you tell me? Because as I watched it, I just thought, it never used to be like this, not just here in the Philippines, but in Southeast Asia. I remember the first time I went to Malaysia and a young kid, he was probably 14 or 15. I went on the train, I think it was the monorail. They have this overhead monorail train that goes around KL, Kuala Lumpur, and this young kid got up and asked me if I wanted to sit because it was full. And I thought, wow, that's brilliant. Respectful of your elders. Now, I know they are in the Philippines, don't get me wrong. Don't shoot me down in flames, by the way. I love this country. I'm happy to stay here, and I'm happy to put up with any nuances or things that might upset me. I don't care about all that. But I like to tell you about these things in my videos because I know some people will be getting irritated. And maybe you don't think about it, but if I can see it, other people can see it. So, I know the people here in the Philippines are very respectful. They say po, they say ate, kuya, tita, tito. They're very respectful, especially when it comes to the elder people. Especially, when the blessing of the hand on the head. I like that. Not that I'm religious, but I just find it nice and respectful. So that was one thing I realised that was going on. These girls just sat there the whole time. Now, we actually had two small tables sort of joined together like that, and there was 4 chairs. Was there 4 chairs? There might have been 3 chairs. So one table at the side had only 1 chair. And I could see people walking around. And there was one guy holding a young baby. And I gave him the old sign. I said, he was quite far away, so I didn't shout. But I was pointing to the table, and he sort of went like that. No, it's okay. I think he had got a table, or his wife had got a table. But, that's what you do. You think about other people. Instead of just sitting there completely oblivious to your surroundings, sitting on your phone the whole time and not giving a shit about anyone looking for a table. You've had your lunch. Why don't you just get up and give someone else a seat? Just thought it was pretty disrespectful, really. And it kind of sums up the younger generation with their head in their phones all the time. And not just the younger generation, by the way. Anyway, that was the first thing. Another thing I noticed, and this happened to us, and I thought, I'll fix this. I could see my wife cringing as I said it. We go to the Belgian waffle house quite a lot because I like the coffee. They have this 3-in-1 coffee from Malaysia, and it's only 80 pesos. I say only, it's 80 pesos. And I like it, so we go there sometimes. This particular day we went there, and it was busy. And I would, I understand that. It's a popular place. Um, and I could see there was a lot of people sitting there. And some of them didn't have any waffle in front of them. And I thought maybe they've ordered that. But as time went on, I realised that these people had just come in, because the Belgian Waffle House is actually in the middle of the aisle in the mall. They just come in and then taken a seat to have a rest. So when I was ordering the coffee, I said to the girl, there's no seats. And she said, oh. And I said, these people here are not customers. And you know what? Fair play to her. She actually went over and said, I'm sorry, but we have customers who are looking for a table. And they got up and left. And I said to her, I'm glad you did that, because if you hadn't said anything, I would have. And that's when I could see my wife cringing. But that was just something else, that it's more etiquette rather than a rule. But there's plenty of rules here that are not getting followed. You'll see guys on bikes going down one-way streets all the time. It's not just here in the Philippines. It happens in other countries I've been in as well. They think because they're on a small bike, it's okay, and they can just go wherever they want, which includes the sidewalk. Wear a helmet. Why are so many people in the Philippines not wearing helmets? If you can afford a bike, you can afford a helmet. Especially when you go out from the sort of town. If you're in the province and you're in a town, most people in the town will wear a helmet. I say most, not all. When you go outside into the barangay, the sort of like edges of the town, if you like, they have barangay in the town as well. But when you go to the outer barangay, if you like, you'll see people riding around all the time without helmets on. And I said this to my wife, and she said, yeah, but that's only in the barangay, not in the town. I said, yeah, but that doesn't mean it's right or okay. I said, the rule is you should wear a helmet. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're Filipino, tell me, is that not a rule? Is it illegal not to wear a helmet? Don't know. I would have thought it was. So that was another thing that made me think about. And this is a kind of an unwritten rule, this one. You'll know, if you're a foreigner and you're living in the Philippines, you'll know about this. Anytime we go to a shop, be it in the market or somewhere that I'm with my wife, I'll say to her, I'll wait outside, you go in. She knows why, because if I go in, I'm going to get the foreigner price. If she goes in, she'll get the local price. And it happens. If you're not aware of this, it happens. I've seen it many a time where I've told her the price that I paid for something, and she'll say, why did you pay that? That's not right. Foreigner price. So just be aware of it if you're not if you're not aware of it. Be aware of it. Just take your wife or girlfriend, get her to get you a price for something. One of my recent videos about the extreme begging in the Philippines was commented on quite a lot, and a lot of some of the comments mentioned about the begging being illegal, but of course nobody follows that. You'll see people begging all the time. I didn't know it was illegal, so to get all these comments was great, because it also highlights it to other people. If people are reading the comments, they'll come to know. So that's another thing that doesn't get followed. And one thing that I always laugh at, here in in our province, or barangay, if you like, um, not just here, but I've also seen it in other ones in Legazpi. You'll see like signs at the side of the road, painted on a wall, for example. Um, Daraga is proud to be a smoke-free zone. What? Now, I'm a reformed smoker, and there's nothing worse. I've stopped smoking now for about, it's almost 3 years. Next month it'll be 3 years. I use a vape. Uh, Probably not. It's probably not healthy. Well, I know it's not healthy, but it's better than what I was doing before. Tobacco and all that. But I always laugh when I see this sign about Daraga being a smoke-free zone, because it's not. Yeah, they may as well just cover that, paint over it with something else, because nobody reads it, nobody follows it. It's just life as usual, business as usual. Um, that was another one that made me think. So, guys, just a wee bit of fun today. Please don't be offended if you're Filipino. As I said at the beginning, I love this country and it's where I want to be. I couldn't be happier being here. It's really, really changed my life in a big way and allowed me to retire earlier, obviously. So please do not take offence. I don't like it when people jump all over it and start telling me that I shouldn't be here and all this. All I'm doing is I'm highlighting some things because most of the time my day is quite boring. I get up, I go for a walk sometimes. The last few days, or maybe the last week, I haven't been able to because I've done something to my knee and I'm hobbling around. So I get up, I go for a walk usually, take my son to school, go and have some lunch, come back, pick him up and come home. So, I can't very well make a video of that every day. So I have to be, what's the word? I have to observant, that's the word. I have to be observant and try and talk about other things. Obviously, we'll be doing day trips and I'll try and show you some of the things in this province in our videos as well, but do not be offended. It's just a bit of fun. Okay, catch you in the next one. Cheers, bye.